So Chud the Builder has been a streamer who I'm barely familiar with, to be honest. I'm going in blind with a lot of you guys, but to my understanding, he is a white man that goes around and documents some of the worst parts of the world today that social media tries to turn a blind eye to. He will often go up to black people or anybody and call them, you know, what was deemed to be like the worst thing possible. So the most recent example is he went up to a black man and he called him the hard R, and then apparently he got assaulted. Let's find out what happened. Let's weigh in and let's see what's going on here. We got the first video right here. We have a lot of videos to go through. We got about 13 different perspectives on this. Let's talk about it.
Some breaking news to tell you about the social media influencer known as Chud the Builder is now facing an attempted murder charge after a shooting today outside the Montgomery County Courthouse. Deputies say Dalton Etherly, better known as social media as Chud the Builder, was involved in a fight leading to gunfire. Both men were hospitalized. Deputies just arrested Etherly, charging him with attempted murder, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. Tonight, he's being held in the Montgomery County Jail.
So it's to my knowledge, and once again, this story is very controversial right now. We're hearing conflicting stories right now, so I can only tell you what I have heard. Here's my honest take. You cannot assault someone for them calling you a word, okay? Whether you call them a cracker, an N-word, a retard, you do not have the right to physically assault someone because they called you a word and that hurt your feelings. However, you also cannot be surprised if you are provoking people with your words and then someone hits you. Now, as well as if you are intentionally provoking people, you know, some bad is going to happen, so you really can't be surprised when it does befall you. Let's keep going here.
I walked up to them because they were pointing at me. They were laughing, they were pointing at me, and I said, "What's up, guys? How y'all doing?" I said, "Y'all like the new suit?" He said, "Walk away from me." I walked away from him. He came back up to me. He literally said, "I have PTSD. I feel like I'm in." He said, "You start saying all that chimp out to me, I'm gonna hit you." He hit me, started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself by shooting him.
You really can't assault someone because they say that you're chimping out. I mean, let's just be completely real. It's kind of psychotic, man.
He's still wailing on me.
Where's your weapon at?
They have everything.
What weapon is that right there?
I believe that's it. Is that yours?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's talking to him right now. Oh no, you guys are good to do your thing. Okay. He has a graze. I call it a graze to the left arm. He has slight.
Now the other thing is, just because somebody punches you one time, once again, we have heard repeat strikes. The stories right now is he was hit once and immediately shot him. And then there's another story where he was being hit repeatedly and mauled on, and then he shot him. The guy is not dead. But you cannot just shoot someone because they punch you once. You can only shoot someone if you feel the legitimate danger for your life. Once again, going by the legal definition. This is apparently footage of the altercation. And that, to me, I'm not going to lie, if a guy jumps on me with a jumping understrike and has me on the ground, continuously hitting me, to me, depending on when the shot happens, that looks like reasonable grounds to shoot. If a guy is fully mounted you and is beating the out of you, if that is the altercation, then I actually totally get it. Let's keep going here. We have another one. So the dude Chud shot in the stomach and tried to kill a building full of people. He beat his wife. He harasses Redmond with multiple numbers. He stalked Chud and plotted ahead of time to assault him, saying he wanted to kill him. This was not community noted, and this has been up now for nearly 10 hours, which makes me believe there's at least some truth to it. If this guy's a repeat offender and he actually planned it, I have a feeling this guy is going to be very in the court of law, and I have a feeling Chud the Builder will walk free. However, if it is a honest-to-goodness military veteran, I can see Chud the Builder getting for life. It is really going to come down to who the actual shoot victim is and what the entire I guess the entire story is. We're still finding out a lot as this is going on. That's why it says developing. So as we see here, a conflicting story. The man who shot by Chud the Builder is 31-year-old Army veteran Joshua Fox, was shot in his shoulder and stomach, according to his family. He's a disabled veteran with 2 kids that suffers from PTSD and other medical conditions. Chud is currently facing over 25 years in prison. Now, there is community notes being proposed, which is very interesting right here because there is a proposed community note. However, it has not been passed yet. So let's hear the interview here.
Yes, this is my favorite filter. No, I don't like cats. I just think the filter is dope. Anyway, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, a plumber came to my apartment today, banging on the door like he was police. I got PTSD. I've been arrested at this residence too many times. So I just hurry up and open up the door because they ain't finna kick down my like they did last time. Anyway.
This is very interesting. We need to find out, where did this take place? Does anybody know what town this took place in, or at least what state? Do we know? Because if we know the town and the state, we can really get down to the bottom of what might actually happen. Because the reality is, if this is a blue state, he's most likely. If he's a red state, he's most likely fine. Nashville. Let me check it real quick. Nashville, Tennessee. I believe that's more red. No, Nashville is a staunchly blue city located within a deep red state. So this is kind of like the Austin, Texas of Tennessee. So even though Texas is a majority red state, Nashville is deeply blue, just like Austin, Texas. So to be honest, the odds are not looking good at all for Chud. Let's keep going on here. We have Nick Fuentes weighing in on the situation as well.
A lot of people on the
Sad that it comes to the politics of the state. Well, a lot of legal matters usually do.
timeline defending this behavior, saying, yeah, well, we should be able to say the N-word. I don't know. I don't want.
I do firmly believe that we as a people should be able to say the N-word. However, I don't really think there's any justification for, I want to be able to go up to black people and call them the hard R. I don't really need to do that whatsoever. However, I think saying it in conversation and not using it as a derogatory is fine. Right? Like, so for example, like, I don't think anybody should be, I don't want the right to go up and call a white person a cracker. I don't want the right to go up to a Mexican person and call him a spick. I don't need to go up to an Asian person and call him a ching chong ding dong. I don't need to do that. Okay? I really don't. I have no desire to want to have that right. I don't care. And, for every other race besides black people, you could, and it's fine. But black people are incredibly sensitive to this word. We all know they are. It's the spell that you can cast to make all black people go crazy. But to be honest, I don't need that right. However, I don't want to get stabbed if I call someone my N-word, soft A, as a homie and I dap him up, and then randomly someone across the streets comes across there and stabs me. I don't want that to happen. But to be honest, I don't feel like I need the right to be like, yeah, I want to be able to call these black people the hard R. I don't need to do that personally. However, if someone does call a black person the hard R, I'm going to be completely honest. I do not believe them that gives them the right at all to physically assault them or worse. Because I'll be honest, the amount of people who say, if you call me the hard R to my face, I'm going to kill you, pointing a gun at a screen on the internet. It's like, bro, that's nuts. You can say that's not cool. Right? You can say that's not cool, or you, man, but like killing someone over a word is nuts.
To be a victim of crime. I don't actually necessarily want to be out in public confronting black people, calling them.
Absolutely. Like, I don't want to do that either. The other thing is that, God damn it, hold up, my brain blanked. Oh, yeah. I believe that words should never give you the right to inflict violence unless there are words of violence being thrown at you. Saying things like, I'm going to kill your child, or I'm going to kill your friend, or I'm going to kill you. If those are being said to you, I believe you should have every right to beat the you should have the right to beat the out of somebody and make sure that they cannot do those things. Just like I believe in free speech. However, I don't believe that you should be able to make fake bomb threats, SWAT people, as well as say there's a fire in a movie theater, right? I believe swatting is attempted murder.
Like, I actually don't want to do that. I don't think people should be fired for uttering the word.
I agree.
And I think it's a funny word. I don't think it should be treated like a blasphemy, but
Absolutely.
let's be honest, it's not a nice thing to say.
Sure, absolutely. 100%. Very fair take.
It's actually not a very nice thing to say. And I don't know that we should actually be out there saying, hey man, we should be able to go up to black people and start blasting a slur that offends them without expecting them to be offended.
Yep.
Was that really ever the rallying cry? To me, it was more like, stop smoking weed in public, stop driving on the shoulder, talk more quietly, don't be on speakerphone all the time. It's more things like that. So, I don't know what creating two obnoxious underclasses of victims, I don't know what that does for anybody. I
absolutely agree. At a certain point, you need to rise above and not stoop to levels.
know that lowering ourselves to their level is actually the solution. So before, we had an underclass of offensive, inconsiderate people breaking laws, not paying their credit card off, getting in trouble with the
And once again, he's not talking about all black people. He's talking about YNs, right? Very different. He's not talking about all black people.
law, bothering everybody. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to become an obnoxious, inconsiderate underclass of permanent victims, getting in trouble with the law, having, you know what I'm saying? Like, at a certain point, we need to choose to rise above all of it. We have to choose to be better.
What about somebody talking to you and harassing you verbally? Can you beat their ass then? Like if someone comes up to me and like calls me a repeatedly, no, I'm not going to beat the out of them and break their nose. No, I'm not. I'm not a monkey, right? Like I can just either call someone to get them escorted away from me or, just get them off me. You know what I mean? Now, if they threaten violence to me, then yeah, I'll beat the out of them because why the wouldn't I? Right? Because then I'm in danger. They have said there is going to be danger. But if someone is calling me random insults, no, I'm not going to go up to them and beat the out of them. There's no reason to do that.
We have to choose to be better than that, better than what they want us to be, better than them. And we have to shine for everyone else to follow. That's a choice. So I saw that. I feel sorry for him. I feel sorry for him. I feel bad for him. I pity him. He screwed up royally, and now he is done. Because what's going to happen, first of all, they threw the book at this guy. So he's facing some serious problems.
Yep.
He's got a record, so there's going to be no leniency.
Unless the other guy has a record as well.
And then he's got all these tweets. He's got a mountain of tweets saying, I'm inevitably going to shoot somebody. I'm inevitably going to kill one of you. How's that going to play in front of the judge? Not so funny now, huh?
Oh, and it's the truth. If you guys don't think that tweets and the content you make on the internet can be used against you in a court of law, you're sorely mistaken. I promise you. What you tweet, it matters. It really, really, really does. And that's why I have a lot of respect for people who do truly tweet their mind and say things when other people are too afraid to say. Trust me, guys, my life got over by the shit. Dude, the jokes that I've tweeted have completely, they fucked me over. Oh, Jesus Christ. Dude, I even quoted Jiraxis from World of Warcraft saying, your arrogance will be your undoing. And then that in a court of law, that was deemed me threatening someone. There it is. I tweeted this out, and this was considered a threat in a court of law.
Trifling gnome, your arrogance will be your undoing.
Just because we were talking about World of Warcraft and I was thinking about playing Wrath of the Lich King Classic. I shit you not. So like legit, like even like vague tweets can be used against you and completely twisted by lawyers, right? So direct calls to violence can absolutely fuck you if vague video game quotes can also be held against you.
Let's say he goes to jail for 10 years. You think on year 8, he's going to feel good about his civil rights martyrdom to IRL stream and provoke people screaming and saying provocative things? I'm not so sure. So, yeah, it's very sad. And look, two wrongs don't make a right. We do have a problem with that other underclass. Let's not become like them. Let's rise above them.
Honestly, a pretty fair take. Let's keep going here.
And people now say he's a martyr. He's a martyr. Well, the black people were chimping out. Well, I don't know. If I were standing around and a black person was live streaming near me and they started saying things offensive to white people, yeah, maybe I would feel a certain type of way about that. Maybe, isn't that sort of our whole thing? And there's something.
I would just shit talk them back. I wouldn't physically assault them. I wouldn't pin them to the ground and start smashing their face in because I'm not a animal. You know what I'm saying? Like, just shit talk them back. There's no need to slam them on the ground, you know, slam their head into concrete and start Donkey Kong down being on their face because they said a word, right?
Thing ironic about that, you have a lot of people who are pro-white, and it's all about racial pride, and it's all about beating their chest, and it's all about saying, oh, you know, I'm white. Don't try that stuff around me. Don't insult white people around me. So much racial pride. But then there's this double standard where it seems that white people want to go out in some cases and offend the sensibilities of other people. They feel emboldened, for example, to use harmful stereotypes about other people, say racial slurs about other people, be provocative towards other people, and that's fine. That's free speech. That's funny. Hey, man, can't you take a joke? Hey, man, it's just a word. And when black people get pissed off or take umbrage or they attack, oh, well, you're chimping out. But then when the roles are reversed, if somebody says something anti-white, if someone says something exclusionary to white people, it's those same white people that puff up their chest and say, how dare you? You would never say that about a minority, this, that, and the other. How much abuse have you, let's just be perfectly honest. Let's be fair. A lot of people aren't going to like this monologue. I don't care. This is what's fair. This is what's true.
Okay.
I
have a lot to say about this.
See on the timeline how many out and loud and proud white people are saying Indians are Jews and blacks are and Mexicans are and all this kind of stuff. And making jokes about you in the street and you like watermelon and all this kind of stuff. And they're the same people. They don't want to hear anything negative about whites. And how do I know that? Because I say negative things about all groups of people. And it's the same people that die laughing when I make fun of one group. Ha ha, that's hilarious. I love when you say it. I love when you do that bit. I love when you say you're not going to go to the gas station if there's black people. That's hilarious. When I say Polish people are slipping on a banana peel or they can't change a light bulb, it's the same people saying, hey man, you're anti-white. You say Albanians aren't white. You. So which is it? So I actually don't know how helpful it is to bring that into the real world, actually. I don't actually know.
I think the problem that Nick is misunderstanding is for every one clip of a white person physically assaulting someone because someone called them a cracker, I think you will find thousands of black people assaulting people because they called them an N-word.
These
right? So I think it's very disproportionate to what he's saying here, right? I don't know. I have never seen a clip of a white man assaulting someone because they were called a mean word. Personally, I have not seen that.
These are things, that's the basis of our pride and our identity. It's not.
But I do agree. I think going to people in real life and intentionally provoking them to see if they're going to act a certain way is a very dangerous game. However, I would like to say it should not be as dangerous as much as it is, if that makes sense. Like, you shouldn't do that. It's not good to go in real life, be a nuisance streamer, and intentionally provoke people, and then when they get provoked, say, you see? You did what I thought you'd do. It's like, all right, I agree. It should not be as touchy as it is, but that doesn't mean we got to go around and do it.
You know, well, I'm me, so that's why I'm proud, because I'm white, and that's what I am, so that's what I'm proud of. It's because objectively, our people were doing things that were civilized, admirable, positive. We take pride in those behaviors, in those virtues.
Because the violence happens enough already as it is. We don't need to try and go to provoke people into doing more. What we need to do is just have stricter regulations and have more police around these areas to show that there will be swift punishment if that continues to happen. But going on stream and live streaming harassing people, it's not really the smartest thing to do.
And it seems like there's a very different version of racial pride, which says we're just going to beat our chest. And it's really just a base form of tribalism. We're proud of who we are because it's who we are.
Sure. I kind of get where Nick's going with this. Let's keep going here. So now we have Myron Gaines weighing in, I believe, giving the inverse opinion here.
Chud the Builder is saying and doing what a lot of people in America wish they can do. That's tough. I get it. Some of y'all niggas don't like to hear that. Some of you guys are mad about that. But there's a reason why he's had a meteoric rise over the past year. People are tired of niggas, bro. Do I gotta be the one to say it? We're tired of you chimpanzee, orangutan, ape, retard. We're tired of y'all, man. No one wants to live around y'all. No one wants to go to Atlanta. No one wants to get on Spirit Airlines. No one wants to get on any budget airline.
Well, you can't get on Spirit Airlines anymore. It got shut down. And then Delta Airlines is getting up because of, and I quote, changing consumer habits.
Airline and deal with you. Nobody wants to go into a gas station where they say we accept EBT and SNAP. Nobody wants to date black women because they're fat and loud. The average black woman's 187 pounds. Like, do I gotta spell it out for you dumbass niggas because you can't read? A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. Nobody wants to be around you monkeys. Sorry. And honestly, if you get offended too bad, you're probably the monkey. Because I'll tell you this.
I will say, as a man, where I have lived in I've lived in an all-Asian neighborhood in Canada. I've lived in an all-Mexican neighborhood in El Paso. I lived in an all-black neighborhood in Virginia. And I've lived in an all-white neighborhood right here in San Antonio. To be completely honest, Asian neighborhood was my number one. Then it was white neighborhood right below. Mexican was like, it was pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty bad. It was pretty rough. Oh, God. What's above and below? Black or Mexican? I would honestly rate all Mexican neighborhoods worse than all black neighborhoods. But that was my experience. I had a gang leader of MS-13 grab me, hold me by my shirt while holding a knife to my neck, saying, give me a reason why I shouldn't kill you right now. So I have a very uncomfortable experience with that. I will say, like being in a black household was amazing for me. I loved that. The love you feel in a black household was amazing. I didn't really enjoy the Mexican culture when I lived in it. There was a lot of gossip. There was a lot of, like, they spoke different languages and would shit on me for being white. So to be completely honest, I love Asian and white neighborhoods. They're great. But obviously all Mexican neighborhoods and all black neighborhoods do have an issue. But I will say it's not all of them. It's really not. To be honest, the majority of them in those neighborhoods are good. Straight, and I will say that. The majority of them are good, and the blacks were also tired of the violent blacks in the neighborhood, and the Mexicans were also terrified of the violent Mexicans in the neighborhood. I don't know why there's no violent whites here. I don't know why there weren't any violent Asians. I mean, statistically, it's far lower, but the problem is people buy into racism too much, and they say, well, most likely all blacks are more likely to do this, so all black people. Like, I'm sorry. If you want to damn all people of a race, or if you want to damn all people of a gender, you are just retarded, right? Sure, you can acknowledge that you have a more likely chance to have a bad experience with this race, but to say all black people or to say all Mexicans, that is just a retarded take, right? But I will say, the black neighborhood I lived in was pretty rough. The Mexican one was way worse, but yeah, there is a reason why people want to live in an all-white neighborhood, and it's funny how they say all white, and they say, but man, if we can live in that neighborhood, that would not be too bad. But the 1% bad of blacks are infinitely worse than the 1% bad of whites or Asians. Bad is subjective. I mean, statistically, you are correct. Absolutely. No, once again, statistically, you are absolutely correct. Absolutely. I think it's higher than 1%, by the way. But yeah. But I mean, like, once again, I love black people. I love Mexican people. I love white people. I love Asian people. But I'm not going to deny the fact that you are more likely to have a bad experience based off of statistics with certain races other than not, right?
The black people that are intelligent, aren't retards, aren't going to be offended by what I'm saying. They know what I'm saying is true. There's a reason why dark Dominican niggas sit there and say, I know black, Bobby. There's a reason why dark Puerto Rican niggas, even though they're retarded too. I know black, Bobby. There's a reason why African niggas say, I know black. You guys have a bad
I've never lived in an all-Indian neighborhood, so I can't give you my perspective on that.
reputation.
I will say, though, in every neighborhood where there are Indians in it, you will know it by walking outside their house. It always smells like chicken tikka masala. And they always travel together in like robes. It's interesting, at least in my experience.
You guys have bad stereotypes that follow you. And unfortunately, a lot of you niggas adhere to the stereotypes. Whether it's Waka Flocka chimping out over Jake Paul agreeing that there's a problem or he wants to be able to do blackface because Drewski can openly do white face. There's a clear double standard in America that people are tired of. We're tired.
I think that's absolutely fair. I do believe that people are tired of the double standard where there's many black people who do whiteface, but white people can't do blackface. And they say, if you do that, we will kill you. People just want the same treatment, right? That's what this is all about. I think this is a fair point. I think Myron is a bit, well, let me first. Myron's an extremist. The majority of things that he says are completely blown out of proportion, but every now and then you get a nugget of truth. I would say people are very tired of the double standard.
Tired of tiptoeing around black issues because you stupid monkeys want to be the only ones to be able to criticize. You can't talk about this because you ain't black. You ain't one of us, so you can't criticize. Get the out of here with that return.
I will say, people saying you can't talk about this because you're not this race is retarded. It's kind of like when people say, oh, you can't talk about women issues because you're not a woman. You know, you don't know what a woman is. It's like, okay, so you're telling me I can't tell you what a woman is because I'm not a woman. Can I tell you what a cat is because I'm not a cat? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can.
Part of shit. Get the out of here with that. Do I got to be a mathematician to say 1 + 1 is 2? Do I got to be a scientist to say water is wet? I'm retarded.
True.
You can't talk about us because you ain't black. Shut the up. That's precisely why y'all niggas are backwards and retarded. Because you're.
And as a man who's 22% black, I do believe that I have the ability to speak for the black community, my fellow black brothers and sisters.
Rely upon other black niggas to criticize black niggas. And even if someone like me, who comes from the land of the blacks, aka Sudan, you stupid ass monkeys will there's, well, you ain't Cloudfly, you a tether, you from Africa. It's like nobody can criticize y'all niggas. And we're tired of it, bro. We're tired of it. I gotta be the bad guy to say what it is. Chud the Builder is popular because everyone has black exhaustion. Okay? Whether it's Hispanic niggas, white niggas, Arab niggas, even other black niggas. We're tired of you monkeys.
To Myron's point, black fatigue, or more particularly N-word fatigue, is at an all-time high in the state of America. I think anybody who's been on Twitter knows this.
I've already done a whole thing on my channel.
And it does make me feel very bad because a lot of good, well-mannered black people, which in my opinion are the majority, are catching a lot of flack for the unfortunate minority of their subclass being what's it called? It encroaching onto the black people. We're just minding their own business.
And my supporters, do you guys know that even though I'm a racist like you try to say, almost 1/3 of my audience is black? Trust me, there's lots of rational niggas out there that realize that you are out of control. You guys,
yeah, absolutely.
Are out of control. And we're tired of y'all niggas. It's not a mistake that Chud the Builder has risen in prominence and become popular. It's not a mistake that people like Nick Fuentes are becoming popular. It's not a mistake that clips of Jared Taylor demolishing dumbass Tariq Nasheed during debate are becoming popular. Niggas are tired of niggas. And when I say niggas, I mean all of us. Whether black, white, Indian, whatever, Asian, we're all tired of you.
Well, the reason why this happened, it's very simple, is that the news would report a story in a certain way. I think what really started the revolt on N-word fatigue is George Floyd. You know, we were all told this guy was like a martyr. He was an innocent good man that got killed for no reason. And he got killed by asphyxiation, and then we saw the body cam footage. He was saying, I can't breathe, even when no one was touching him in the back of a car, because he was dying of a fentanyl overdose, right? As well as we found out that he was robbing a pregnant woman, and he was also a criminal, right? And people burned cities over this guy, and then we saw the autopsy, and then we saw the body cam footage, and we were like, oh, wait, they did all of that over this? Damn. And then there was even more stories of saying there was another innocent black people, and then we saw the body cam footage, and then it would completely shift the narrative, as well as there was, I believe his name was like DeCarlos Anthony, I think. There was a black kid who killed a white kid in cold blood and let him die in his twin brother's arms. And then black people raised $1.8 million for him to be free just because he was black, and they thought it was funny that he killed a white person. You know, I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that are being led up to this overwhelming fatigue that's happening in America right now.
Bro, you niggas are retarded. We're trying not to bite our tongue around blacks being idiots, tipping out, acting like retards, losing their minds over a word. Why is it? I could go right now to somewhere in South Dakota, North Dakota, all white people. I could yell at the top of my lungs with a megaphone. You guys are all a bunch of crackers. I could walk around and antagonize white people all day. Cracker, cracker, cracker.
And they would go, boo, boo, but they wouldn't jump over the stand and kill you. You know what I'm saying? And to be fair, you know this is the truth.
Cracker, I don't have to worry about.
But the problem is we put so much power on the N-word to where like, you must attack anybody who says this word. It really is like flipping the nuclear bomb switch.
Why is it that a Chud the Builder says he's got to worry about getting shot? Think about that for a second. You stupid retarded monkeys. I can go to a white neighborhood, yell cracker, crack, cracker on a megaphone, and I will be safe. Probably nothing will happen to me. But if Chud goes to the hood, he's going to get shot. That's a problem with the blacks. That's a problem with the blacks. And I don't want to hear nothing about slavery, civil rights. The word's history. Shut the up.
I'm also going to be real. I don't feel bad for anything. Okay, once again, I feel bad for the people who went through slavery. That sucks, including white people, by the way. White people were also slaves. You know the word slavery? Yeah, the Slav, that comes from Slavic people. Fun fact. But I don't feel bad for someone who has never experienced slavery. Why the f would I? I mean, this shit happened 200 years ago, and we got people acting like they're fresh off the boat. Why would I feel bad for you because your great-great-grandparent went through something? It makes no sense, right? Like, how are you able to generationally adopt their trauma and act like you're a victim from something you never went through? It makes no sense.
None of y'all niggas were alive. Shut the up. None of y'all niggas got hit with a fire hose. None of y'all niggas was there for a Malcolm X speech. Shut the up. So retarded. Well, you know, you got to understand the history of the word is really bad. It's slavery and Jim Crow and whatever. Shut the up. Half you niggas don't even know how to spell Jim Crow. Half you can't even spell history. A lot of you niggas can't even read one page from
Watch Guy Sinat.
Alex Haney's book, The Autobiography of Malcolm X. You niggas want to sit here and talk about black history. Shut the up. Shut the up. Niggas are so dumb. Half the people that get mad about this can't even read. Give these dumbass niggas a book. Hey, read one page from Malcolm X. Bro, read one page or else you lose your life. Oh, shit. Bro, get out of here. Get out of here with that, man. There's a reason why this content is popular right now. It's popular because niggas are tired of niggas, bro. It is what it is. Like, if you want to get mad about it, you want to cry, you want to say America's racist, this is so up, Myron's a tether, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? None of you can call me a liar.
Some bit of truth in that. There are some bit of truth. There's a little bit more. Former Fed reacts to Chud the Builder getting arrested. This sounds interesting.
That's known for calling black people, okay? He just recently got arrested for not paying a tab. He got interviewed by the FBI. Right, as you guys know, the FBI had some questions for him about the Goyim Defense League and asking him questions about handsome truth and whatever. Took his devices, whatever. But the bottom line is this. The district attorney's office there and the county sheriff's office doesn't want to deal with the backlash if they don't make an arrest based on who this guy is. So you guys best believe, I hate to say this, it is a politically charged arrest. There's an enormous amount of pressure on them to arrest him and then push it to a grand jury.
I will be real. There is also a lot of truth to this. There are a lot of people who must be punished more severely than they actually need to be due to the fact that the public is waiting to see the outcome of a trial. This is very true. That's the reason why the police officer responsible for killing George Floyd is still in prison. Because if they were let him out, pandemonium would break loose.
Because everyone wants to be able to say, we tried. And you guys also need to understand, probable cause is not a high standard. Probable cause when it comes to the state and the county is very low. Okay, we're not talking about a federal case here. We're talking about a state case. And we're talking about a state case with an individual, right, that's nationally known, is provocative, and he's provocative on one of the most divisive topics in America, which is race relations. So I'll be honest with y'all, I kind of knew he was going to get arrested from the rip.
Oh, absolutely. And with that type of content, obviously that was going to happen. And then lastly, we'll save that one for last. But what do y'all think? I'm going to follow this case as it develops. It's very, very, very interesting to me. And let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments. If you think I'm wrong about anything, I'm always open to discuss that. So please leave me your point of view in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you on the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye-bye.